Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Avalanche, seeing what's going on. It's important to recognize that we are in a good situation here for the most part, being above this descending trend line and also closing solidly above the cloud. That's some positive contributing factors, but I want you to know we're not out of the woods yet either, because Bitcoin is misbehaving at that 39.5 to 40,000 range. Okay, so we got this little bit of a range for Bitcoin. If the price pulls back, obviously altcoins will too. So just be mindful of that. It might be advantageous to consider hedging some of your longs with some shorts or vice versa. But of course, at this point, anything could happen. So let's just double check, see if we can increase our odds of success and just verify a few things here on the charts, just so we know generally where we're at with things. Okay, so before we get started, I want to say that Avalanche is heavily concentrated at $34. Okay, so in the last 7 days. There's a heavy concentration of liquidation. Now, we can bridge this gap here about like 33.50. We very well see a sweep there. Okay, so the good chance is we get it to that close to that $33 range. We'll probably see the price wake up there and wipe out some of those shorts. So please understand, it's a solid, realistic situation here. Not a lot of coins are this close to that amount of liquidation. But does it mean it's going to just come up to that level because of it? No. Bitcoin has to have a pretty solid amount of consolidation in its current range before we see that. Or Bitcoin needs to come up to the 41.6 range. And at that point, we'd have a lot more confidence in alts. Just bear in mind, Bitcoin dominance will probably increase if that happens, so we just got to be careful. All that being said, at this point, we want to treat this with a grain of salt and double check a few things here on the daily. Just to clarify, again, we are massively overextended, or were. We're getting that nice little pivot, that bounce off $27. I mentioned $27.50 is a previous support / potential resistance level. We closed above that. We're in good shape. We're closed above $29.50 as well. So we've seen here not only 2, but 3 days in a row that level is held, and the price wicked all the way down to that level and essentially bounced. Okay, so those are good signs too. Just know, and I like to say this all the time, Bitcoin pulls back, sub 39.5, sub 39,000. We're going to probably see these alts continue to unravel. Okay, so just the thing that works, just the way it works. Okay, so I wouldn't say a super tight stop loss, but use low leverage and a realistic stop loss within your risk tolerance to ensure the price pulls back. You get stopped out, you step away, price continues lower. Because again, once we have invalidation from Bitcoin, we're going to see a lot of altcoins essentially continue lower too. So just something to be mindful of. Okay, so what we have right here is we got a descending trend line. We're tentatively above that. Excuse me. We got the 20-day SMA and the 50 working its way up. So generally speaking, right now we're below some key levels. Not a great sign. Stochastic is swinging up like it is with most coins, but MFI and RSI are still fairly low, under 50. These are all common places for most coins. So is the daily time frame phenomenal? Heck no. I would even say it's slightly bearish, slightly more bearish than most other coins. So be careful taking a trade with this coin here. We can see a mass concentration of at about $35 for volume. Okay, and keep in mind, if you see this here, $34 even is just below that level. So again, we see 34. We'll probably see the price action reject out at about 35 and come back down. So again, two considerations there, 34 and 36, 34 and 36 are some key levels there for potential resistance. I'm not saying liquidation is a resistance level, it's just that most people put their liquidation levels above most recent highs, and in this case, we can see that here. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. 4-hour time frame, we're still under 50 on the RSI, got rejected there. Money flow index is low, letting us know that we have some momentum, but it's not phenomenal. And of course, MACD is converging too. So there's some positive and conflicting information here, but the truth is, until we can close comfortably above 33, I don't really see this being a viable option for long. Again, you could argue that, well, that's right there, that liquidation level. Would it be a good level to enter? Because the price will just continue higher. Hypothetically, you can get in now and have some success, but it's not really a long market. You want to be careful with coins that you're taking longs with. If we do take the Ichimoku Cloud, though, into consideration, there is confirmation on smaller timeframes that we're in decent shape here. While we are rejecting out here tentatively at that 0.786 fib, we can see $32 as a resistance. We can also summarize here that $29.50 is a support, and that we are likely to be range bound in this area for a little while. Okay, we break above $32, I think that'd be more of a cause for consideration. But truth is, we're above the cloud. Conversion lines with the baseline lagging span has about 12 hours before it intersects. So unless the price action moves up here soon, we're going to see consideration to consider taking profits if you have a long position open. So what is my thoughts here? Well, we have too much conflicting information in larger time frames. Most coins are like this right now to warrant a comfortable long position. But if Bitcoin can close at 40,000 or higher, it might be a good cause for considering a long position with this coin. Because again, Bitcoin needs to just kind of stabilize at that 40K mark for a little while. And if we see that, just say come Friday afternoon, traditional markets close, and we get a close at 40,000 or higher from Bitcoin, I think we're going to see some green this weekend from most alts. A lot of it hinges on Bitcoin and how it performs between now and then. We will see. But we're not in a prime place for long positions, so take them carefully. Does it mean you open a bunch of shorts? Not necessarily either. We're also at this confirming situation right now where a lot of shorts becoming invalidated. This is that gray area I like to talk about, and 95% of trading is staying away from the gray area. So please understand that. If you're frustrated by low signals in my trading group, that's okay. That's the way it works. You got tons of scalps in the day trading, but swing trades, we're transitioning right now. If we can transition to a conservative / consolidative effort from Bitcoin, I'm confident we're going to see some alts do some really cool things. But we are also on the edge of disaster too, and alts going to just surge to the downside at any given time if Bitcoin sneezes under 39,500, for example. That's a kind of a support range we're at. So again, a lot of things to consider. That's kind of where we're at for AVAX. I hope that made sense. I described that correctly. Make sure you check out our affiliation with Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, highly recommended, no KYC or VPN. And obviously, if you're a community member and you're considering my premium signals here, or just premium plus, for example, you want day trades, please read through our signals guide. If you don't read this, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to know how to effectively structure your trades within the groups. They both perform very different. One's a trading bot that I have with different strategies across 8 different trading pairs. The other is essentially one that I handle myself for all my swing trades personally that I share. Some friendly advice there. Thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something today. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.